Hi everyone, welcome to episode 59 of Show Me How It's Done. I am your host, Lauren Urbonis, and I'm here in Canada if anybody needs a demonstrator or has any questions. So what I'm going to show you today is a really fun faux center step card. So I originally got the idea for this fold from Cindy Lee B Designs, and I just want to show you, I did replicate the card she made. So this is her card. Here you've got a fun little step using the Daffodil Bundle and Designer Series paper. So I thought, hey, tulips are just as tall as the daffodils, so let me see if I can play with the bundle that I've just ordered. So this is her card. It's gorgeous and so fun, and all the measurements for that card are going to be the same for what we're making today. So here is our center step fold card, and I'm just going to show you a couple of the features that I'm using on the card. So the first is our Designer Series paper. So this beautiful package, let me just spread it out for you, is available in our new January to June catalog. So there's the front and there's the back. You've got some like clouds and other imagery and stuff. So I've just started playing with it. And that's called Flowering Fields. So if you're looking in your new catalog, yay, it's on page 14 and 15. So the Flowering Fields suite, it encompasses not only the tulip bundle and paper that we're using today, but there is also a beautiful windmill image set and dies, and we're going to use that later on in the month. But I wanted to show this suite to you now because it's a great product for you to keep in mind with our Celebration promotion. So if you're not familiar with Celebration, for every $60 you purchase, you get to pick something from this catalog for free. So you look for the little $60 free icon. There's that paper that Cindy used for her card. You can get that whole package for free just simply by buying one of these bundles and adding this on. You can also do that with the Daffodil bundle, which is probably what she did. So just keep in mind as you're kind of picking your freebie, it can be anything you want. These guys are all free with a $60 order, and then we do have 2 items that are free with $120. So you'd get both the paper and the stamp here, as well as this gorgeous all-inclusive stamp. So lots of different ideas for you. When you're buying one of these big bundles, make sure you're maximizing your money and either bumping yourself up to the $120 or staying around the $60 and then doing a separate order for another $60. So you could buy the bundle because that's like a nice $63 item, and then maybe on another order you'd want to grab your paper and brushed butterflies and some ribbon to kind of get you another $60 item too. So lots of fun things that you can do with this. Whoop, folding this the wrong way. I lost my cover. And beautiful paper to play with too. So before I show you how to make this card, I do want to give you all the measurements in case you want to follow along. So you're going to need this base, this guy right here. If you want to do that, that is going to be in Evening Evergreen. And this piece will be 4 1/4 by 9 inches. And you're doing a few score marks, 1 1/4, 2 1/2, 5 3/4. If you're not following along with me today, that is totally fine. I will have the measurements posted in the description, so you can always go and have everything cut and prepped. So before we start working on that, let's cut the pieces that you need to play with on this piece as well. So for the inside of the card, we're going to want either vanilla or white. I chose vanilla. That's going to be 3 by 4, and then 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. You can either make them the same piece, like the same pattern, like Cindy's done here, or I actually just flipped over one of my pieces because I really liked the difference in using 2 separate patterns. So the larger piece is going to be 3 by 4, and the small piece is going to be 1 by 4. Those are all the pieces you need for the base. The pieces that you're going to need for this pop-up center are very simple. You'll need another piece of cardstock that matches whatever color you choose for this base. So once again, I'm using Evening Evergreen. This is going to be 2.5 by 8.5, and I've put a score mark at 3.25. And then I've got one piece of designer series paper that you can see in the background here. That's going to be 2.25 by 5. So I will go through those as we're working, but in case you want to have everything cut and prepped, this is a great time to just pause if you're watching on replay, get all that ready, and then you can follow along with me as we go. Okay, so pause done, yay. Let's work on our base first, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is to make that card, okay? So I've got a nice fold here in the back, and then I'm going to fold these two pieces almost like a very misshapen set of mountains. So you've got a tiny mountain on the left and a large mountain on the right. That's what you want. And you do want to take a bone folder and just fold on all of those lines. You should have 3 lines that you need a very nice crisp fold on top of, okay? So once again, if you're putting this on your desk, little mountain, large mountain. That should be everything you need. Okay, so let's add our designer series paper to this. So the very front, this little strip here, is where I'm going to put my 1x4 piece of designer series paper. And once again, pick whatever pattern works for you. I like to use double-sided tape just so you guys can see what I'm doing, but please feel free to use glue or feel free to use seal, whatever you're most comfortable with. So just putting a little bit of adhesive on the back of this piece, you'll be able to fit this right in the middle of this area with a little border of green all around it. Okay, so it's got a nice little frame. That's exactly what you want to see. Now, if you're kind of opening this up, we are not putting anything on this piece because you're really not going to see it. It doesn't fold out very well. You'll maybe see it if you were to look down on the card, but the likelihood is you've got this on your desk, you're looking straight onto it, and it's fine. Okay, so this piece back here, you guessed it, is our large piece of DSP. So 3 by 4 inches, and you can pick whichever side you want to use. And we'll just put that onto the card as well. Right here. Now on the inside of my card, if you want to just leave this piece blank, then you can go ahead and attach it right now. But I did a little stamping on the inside, so I'm going to grab my beautiful Flowering Tulips stamp set here. And I'm grabbing the layering pieces here for the large flower, as well as my little stems in the middle here, okay? So I have those all mounted, ready to go. And the colors I'm going to use for my flowers are the 2 that I've used for the paper up here too. So Blackberry Bliss and Rich Razzleberry are my inks. And then I just chose Memento for the center of my flower. So you can do this in whatever order you'd like. My suggestion is with your Rich Razzleberry here to start with that and to start with the stamp that has the most surface area in it, because that's going to be kind of the background look of your stamp. So we're just tapping, because remember these are very, very juicy ink pads, till you're happy. And then we'll just press that down for a few seconds so all the color can soak in. And you've got a weird looking layout. So the fun part about these stamps is this second one now will go over top of part of the flower you've already stamped, but it will also stamp a few extra details in this dark Blackberry Bliss color. So once again, tap, tap, tap. I'm happy, and you can see through this stamp if I was to look straight down. So pardon my head, I'm going to get this lined up right on top here, and you'll notice some of the parts match and some of them are different. So for this stamp, line up the bottom section. That part does fully overlap. And then you've got some really fun details. You can keep building and adding more if you wanted to, but I'm happy with that. Ooh, you're stuck. There you go. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Memento and just add a little flower center. Ooh, my Memento needs re-inking. There we go. And as that color sets, it will kind of blend together a little bit. You can see there's kind of a nice softer look to it a bit once it's dried, but this is fun too. So once you've stamped and done your work, then go ahead and attach it inside the card. You can always come back and do this later. However, if you made a mess or a mistake, it's very easy to just turn this over and try again. If it's attached in the card, you don't have that option. Okay, so that's just the only thought in that. I'm very bad sometimes at putting things inside my card, but I was really challenged by Cindy because I saw she not only stamped a little daffodil in there, she even colored it and kind of shaded it too. So I thought that was fun. All right, so inside of our card, we've opened this up, got kind of your weird patterns above you, and this would be the inside of the card. Like so. Okay, so if I close the card and then I fold this backwards, here's my fun pop out. You can keep working, and now we're gonna put the center step on, and then we'll decorate. Okay, so let's just get all this out of our way. So first things first, let's put this designer series paper, this 2 1/4 by 5 inch piece, in the large section. When you're adding this, make sure that your small section is facing the top of your workspace, not towards you, and your pattern for the paper is facing the right way. Like you don't want to put it like this, otherwise it's going to be upside down on here. Okay, so make sure it's facing the way you want it to. And then you can go ahead and attach this to your card. And then on the back of this large piece, so we've got our large piece, let's turn it over. On the very bottom, we're going to put a couple strips of adhesive, whatever you're using, and you want them very close together. Okay, so one goes right at the bottom, and then the next one can go right above it. We just do want a couple layers of that adhesive. And I don't know, my tape is kind of falling apart. There we go. So take off this backing now. And it is going to be attached right in the middle of this little space here. Oh, come on. There we go. But let's attach this, and it goes all the way to the bottom. Okay, so I've kind of eyeballed where the center is between my two sides, and I'm not lining it up to the bottom of the DSP. I'm going all the way to the bottom of the card and attaching that little center piece. Okay, so that right now, all that's attached is this piece. Okay, that's all that's holding on, and it's right flush with the bottom of the card. So this is what you should have at the moment in front of you. This little flappy doesn't attach yet. When you're ready, turn your entire project over. And now on the top of space number 2, the one that's small, we're going to put one strip of adhesive. And then because you can visually see what part is going to be covered here, so we're not going to put adhesive all the way to these edges, I'm going to put just a little adhesive right at the top of this kind of fold here, just within the margins that this paper shows you, okay? So we've got one paper attached to the base and one attached to your flap, so that when you take off your adhesive backings and fold this down, okay, we're going to fold this down. And I went a little too far, so that's okay. Just use a nail and shove it back. There you go. This will now be attached to the back. So I liked that Cindy didn't bother cutting a piece that went all the way to the bottom because it's very unnecessary. This 8.5 is the exact length of a regular piece of cardstock. So here's my cardstock. She just took the whole 8.5 instead of wasting like a cut and then another cut and random. It doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna care on the back of your card. If you're super concerned, just cut yourself another piece of designer paper or white or something, and then you can also have extra room to write on the back of your card if you really don't like this in the back, okay? But here's our card so far. You should have this fun little fold. Now, time to decorate, okay? So these tulips are absolutely adorable. The set, it will cut out 3 different types of tulips. You can see these 2 are slightly different. One has kind of the petal that goes out. This one's very stumpy, and then this one actually doesn't have that 3rd layer. But when you open up your dies and look at them, you're like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know which piece you're talking about. I don't know what to do here. So what I did is I made you a beautiful little chart so you can kind of visualize, let me move this, what I'm doing here, okay, and what each piece cuts out. So self-explanatory are probably my little leaves, right? Like those guys are pretty easy to see that, okay, I can grab those. There's a large stem and there is a small stem too. I didn't cut that one in my samples, like so. But then when I start getting into these weird things, what am I doing? So let me show you, okay? So the piece here that ends up looking like this one, this weird thing, will cut, oh, sorry, that's this one down here. We'll cut out something that looks like this. And I'll show you how to fold them over and make a petal. This 2-part one here, that's kind of the heart-looking one right at the top. And then there is a 3-panel one right there, okay? And then I'm just going to keep filling this in. There's only one of these dies here. We do end up using this centerpiece in 2 of the projects, so that's why I left this open, and this we're not using a centerpiece, okay? And then you need 3 of these little guys here, okay? There are lots of other pieces still in your dies. These 3 will cut out the flowers that you stamp. This is a nice border. This one is the the edge of a flower if you wanted, just to show that, and this is kind of a nice background. But here's what I'm using for you today, okay? So here's exactly what you need to cut out if you own this set. So using this heart-shaped die, use Blackberry Bliss, and then cut yourself out a rich razzleberry 2nd layer. And for this color here, I used, what did I use? This guy right here, Fresh Freesia. Drawing a blank here. Okay, Fresh Freesia, you need 3 of those. And then you need this flower that doesn't have 3 layers. This one is just rich razzleberry and a center. And then this last flower here, you're gonna do Blackberry Bliss, one of the layer 2s, and a layer 3. Okay, that's what you need for this project, but you will need 3 stems and 3 leaves. I didn't put those all on here. So 3 stems, 3 leaves, and then the flower pieces that I've shown you. So let's learn how to build our flowers, okay? So I will keep this sort of visible for you, if that will help. I'm gonna get a I'm going to attach some things on here first, just so they're out of my way and I don't need to worry about them. So I'm going to put my leaves on. So 3 of those leaves. It doesn't matter which ones you choose. I think I chose just 3 of the tall ones, but you can certainly mix and match if that's easier for you, okay? So we're going to actually put dimensionals on the back of these ones. Only need a couple. And I'm going to find something to keep this down. A block, maybe. Hopefully that's not blocking your view too much. Okay. Because then the card won't pop open. Okay, so keep in mind, I am going to put a little bit of a tag down in the bottom. So I don't need these to go right to the bottom of the card, but I do want them to go lower, you know, kind of the first third of your card, if you will. So you can put them in whatever order you want. I just grabbed them and kind of made a little bouquet out of them. The bottoms that are intercrossing are going to be covered, the little tag. But let's just say I've got a little bouquet, kind of like this. You can go ahead and put that onto your card. So 1, 2, and we could flip one too. That would be fun. 3, so that they don't all have the same top. Okay, so there's 3 of my little leaves. For your flower stems, those guys right here, you can attach them now, or you can attach them to the back of your flowers as we build them, which maybe I'll do so that it's just a little easier for you to see each flower as I go. Okay, so flower number 1, let's work on this guy. Okay, got all my pieces nicely cut. We might actually just see which flowers these turn out as. Okay, I think I'm doing this guy here. Okay, so it doesn't matter what order you do them in. We're going to build them all. So these little petals, you're going to fold over like so. And on the inside is where we're going to tuck one of these little pieces. So to attach it, easiest thing to use is a glue dot. So 1 glue dot right on the back. Just kind of have that folded over and tuck him in. Make sure it doesn't go down below. Like, I don't want to press this too hard. I have adhesive, but don't go down below here because now it's sticking out the bottom. So make sure it's kind of nicely up, nestled in there, and then you can squeeze it so your glue dot's attached. You can do this one first or second, it doesn't matter, but this one is also going to get tucked in the back, and to attach it, we're going to use another glue dot. Okay. Oh, maybe I didn't take a glue dot with that last one. It's not sticking. Nope, no glue dot. Okay, well, this one has a glue dot, so I'll stick him in first, and I'm putting it just below the arch of the flower. Okay, so it's not above. I do see a little bit of Blackberry Bliss in there. Now let's actually pick up a glue dot. There you go. And put that inside here. Now to close this up, we want some glue dots on these little petals, but you could do it on the parts that are actually going to touch the flower here. So put them in the top section. I'll put them on and then I'll show you. Okay, so I've put them on in these top sections right here. And then you can fold your flower together in whichever way you want. If you want the small piece overlapping first or the bottom, it doesn't matter. Okay, so there's your little flower. And then with one of your stems, easy peasy, if you want to just grab a little tape and attach it, or you can leave it loose and just position your flower as you go. So it's totally up to you. I think I'm going to just do this guy kind of off to an angle because that's how I have it on this one. And the easy thing is with tape, you can easily just move this later if you need to. Okay, so do that. No, I like it facing this way. I want my curve facing that way. There you go. Whenever you're happy with it is good, okay? And this one you will put a couple dimensionals on the back of the large flower so that it's ready to attach to your card. Okay, so we won't attach it yet in case you need to move. So this middle one, I know it's out of your view, sorry. That is going to be this guy here. So once again, we're just folding these little pieces over. Make sure you know which side is the top. So the top of your flower has the small side on the left and the large side to the right. And just in the inside is going to be one of these little pieces of fresh freesia. Okay, so I'll leave this open so you can see it. And we'll just do that right on the inside once again. And putting glue dots, or you can use glue if you want to. But glue dots are instantly dry, so that's kind of why I like them. Don't need to wait for it to dry. Tuck that over, and you do end up having a little bit of a crack right in the bottom here. That's okay. That is a pretty look, and we don't mind that at all. Okay, so once again, grabbing yourself a little bit of tape, you can attach the stem to this piece. Running away. And go ahead and put a couple dimensionals on the back of this so it's ready to go. There. And this one would go in the center of our card. Not attaching that one yet either. Last but not least, this piece only has two parts, so you're just going to fold it over. And the part that has the two separated pieces is going to be the one that you see on the front. Okay, so if I open this up, I've got my separated pieces on the left and my base on the right. We're going to add this one here and also this guy here. Doesn't matter which order you did these two. And this is the, oh, you didn't pick one up again. Okay, this is the one where you will have the purple overhanging a little bit. Nope, doesn't want. There we go. Okay, and then to close this up, give yourself a little glue dot on one side, little glue dot on the other side, and close those two. Okay, this one's probably my favorite. I think it's just very beautiful. And attaching that one as you go. And two dimensionals on there as well. Okay, now I think I am ready to start attaching. So what I like to do is I attach the middle one first, because that's going to be the one where I know it's in the center and I can adjust the other two accordingly. So I'm just going to put you kind of tilted, I guess. And then it doesn't matter which one you do next. So I'll do the one on the right and put that one just a little higher. And this one on the left can go a little bit lower or up, doesn't really matter. Okay, so now these stems are kind of wonky. They're hanging out very randomly. You can kind of tuck them underneath leaf number 3 to stop them from popping out at you. And then we're also going to put a little bit of tape across the bottom here, okay? And that will just stop them from moving. And keep in mind, we're going to be putting a tag right here, so you won't see that tape. It won't matter to you, okay? So for the tag, you can do anything you want. I did think it was really pretty to have, where did I get this one? This circular little stamp. So I just took my layering circle dies, and I think it's the third smallest or something. I stamped with Blackberry Bliss and then cut that out on a vanilla paper. And then with the coordinating scallop, the one that's just slightly larger, I'm going to layer those two together. So to layer these two pieces, I'm using tape or a flat adhesive, but when I put it on the card, I will use dimensionals. Okay. There we go. And then to put it on the card, because I've already popped up my leaves, I don't need dimensionals on the part that overlap the leaves. I just need it on the parts that are going beside them. So I'm just going to do two little pieces of dimensional, and then I can take this backing off of the flower stems, and then everything will be on the same level. Okay, so this one can just get attached, and you can overlap your edge too. Thought it was kind of fun to do that, like this. So this card is really cute, but as part of the set, there are also these brushed brass butterflies, and I thought it was really pretty to use those. So I'm going to just grab the teeny tiniest one and put that right inside my tag. And that one's kind of enough, but I did sneak one more in. If you can see him, and just put him kind of off to the side here. So I could probably put butterflies everywhere if you'd let me, but I won't, because, you know, gotta save some. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the faux center step card. It's kind of a unique design, especially once you start playing with all the different possibilities. I did see that windmill, you know, and I thought, hey, this would probably actually fit right in this space as well. So maybe I'll try that another time. But to give you one more idea, I was playing with the rainbow bundle. And this one is, so the rainbow bundle's in the catalog, so is the Cloud Punch, but then the paper that you see is a freebie from Celebration. So I did the same thing, maybe get you into focus, and I made a rainbow card with that as well. So there, you have 3 ideas. Where did my, I don't know where Cindy's card went. I lost it. There you go. 1, 2, and there. 3 different cards with the same measurements. You just have to play with whatever bundle you have on hand. So I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions or need a hand ordering, let me know. Like I said, I will put the measurements in the description, and so you can cut and follow along with me. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!